Alright guys, welcome back. Let us continue our work. We're going to start by working on a model for such rings. Okay, let's begin. Back to Rhino. In one of the views, I'm going to use a polyline and set a line here by 5 units. Then I'm going to use mirror here to symmetrize this line. And then also try mirroring this line based on this axis this time. After that, I'm gonna try to connect these two lines using blend curve like this. Now ortho deactivated, and then I'm gonna use these grips to try to control this, you can say, connecting curve line a little bit. Alright, here we go, something like this. After that, I can use a circle here, another circle, a 2-point circle. And I'm going to try to set it vertically like this. Then I'm going to activate the curve to view command. Select the circle and also the line to create something like this. And also we can use scale -1 to create a symmetrization of this line here. And then again use curve to view all over again. Now select the forms that we have created using curve to view. Get a couple of copies. After that, we can enter the front view. Now we can try to control the scale of one of these lines here. I'm gonna scale this on the Z-course using gumball. Then we can say that we have some sort of a rail here, some sort of a path. We can create a rectangular section here. So I'm going to use a rectangle, in fact, from quad to quad like this. Then the next command that I can use here would be sweep, because I want to create a volumized object or form. So activate and then select the section. And here we go. Just set it on shaded. And this would be our ring. Let's get another copy of these two lines. And let's remove this and try increasing the scale a little bit. Let's reduce the size of that middle line. Then again sweep. Now this would be our new form. Now back to this view, I'm going to use a polyline to set this line here. Then I'm going to use trim to cut this bottom part. Now again, let's use scale gumball and minimize one of these lines. Then after that, we can use the move command down here to make sure that the bottom parts are, completely aligned, you can say. Then after that, we can use blend curve here to connect these two lines. Then again, as you can see, we have these grips that we can use. Also, we need to hold the shift key to control the form of our curve. This way, we can create control the curve that we want in the bottom part of our ring. After that, we need another rectangle here. I'm going to deactivate the snap and activate round to create a rectangular section with round corners. Then I'm going to transfer this section on the quads. Now sweep one, select the section and create our volumized form, and in other words, our ring. And by the way, if we activate record history, we would be able to modify our ring afterwards to get the best result. Okay, let's try another way, another method, another alternative. I'm going to select one of the lines here and try changing the scale on the Z-course. I'm going to select both lines here and then use the loft command to create a face. Then I'm going to use an offset surface here to create a thickness. I need an exterior offset here. Exactly like this. Now for more details, we can use a fillet edge to add some smoothness to the edges of the ring. So select all of the edges and just wait for the modification to be applied on them. And yeah, that's it. Here we go. Control Z, let's go back. Fillet edge activated again. And this time let's try a smaller number, for example 0.05. Now let's try applying the same modification on the edges again. And again, as I said before, I want this modification to be applied on all of the edges. We have another one here. And yeah, that's it. Wait for it. Now let's check it in rendering. Okay, there we go. Now let's work on the last model here. I'm going to use split and also point. What I'm going to do is to cut my lines from the bottom parts of my quads. Then again, I'm going to use loft to connect them. And yeah, basically that's it. I'm going to use a cell curve here to remove the extra lines on objects. And after that, we can move on to our next example. As our next example, we have a chain. Let me show you the image. This chain, we need to create a model for this chain here. Let's go back to Rhino and enter the top view. Now let's select a circle here and then grid snap activated. I'm going to set a circle here. After that, I'm going to use mirror to create another one here. Now blend curve to set a connecting curve line in between these two circles. I'm going to set the starting points in both sides on the quads. Now I'm going to use mirror and symmetrize this line like this. Now these middle parts should be removed, so I'm going to use trim. Then after that, I'm going to use join to create a one component object. Now we just need to control the size here a little bit. Now to do this, I'm just going to use, for example, this control point and move it upwards by 1 unit. The same goes down here. Now, after creating this form, we can use pipe with a radius such as 0.7 to create a volumized object like this. And as you can see, we have a circular section, by the way. Okay, now back to the front view. Select our object, our form, and then use bend. Then activate symmetric and try to add a bend to our form, to our chain, you can say, from one side. Again, because symmetric is activated, when we apply a modification on one side, it will be applied on the other side as well. Okay, after using bend, this would be, for example, the form that we are going to get. Okay, the next command that I'm going to use here would be cage edit to create some deformities. One in box, for example, like this. Or we can, for example, reduce the size of this middle part using these control points. Okay, grid snap deactivated. Change up the scale a bit. Hold the shift key as well to add a little bit more complexity to the form. Okay, so basically you can add such modifications. Control Z, let's go back and try rotating our form by 90 degrees. Now we need to reproduce our form, so I'm going to use linear array. For the number, let's go with 14. Okay, specify the course of the reproduction. And as you can see, it is kind of like the forms are getting locked into each other. Now let's add a material here. For example, we can go with a custom one or actually a new one, like a metallic one, gold for the color. Find to object, and now we have this model of a gold chain here. Now I'm going to set a line next to it. And then in the top view, I'm going to try setting this line right in the middle of our form. Now I'm going to try to create this curve using interpolate. What I want to do here is to set this chain on this curve. So select the forms and then activate the flow command. Oh, by the way, the objects have different lengths, so let's activate stretch. Now let's try transferring this chain from this straight line to this curve one. Now just wait for it, for like few seconds, so that our transformation or deformity would go through completely. Then right after, we can check everything in rendering. Here we go. Quite of a realistic preview of our model. So again, our model had a straight shape to it first, and then we have converted into this curved one. Okay guys, let's move on to the next model now. I'm going to start my work by using a deformable ellipse. I'm going to set an ellipse here like this. Then I'm going to activate twist to somehow rotate this a little bit. From side to side, I need to specify an axis, and then based on the axis, I can rotate or twist this ellipse. Okay. Let's see. Axis, this time 180. Yeah, I guess 180 works better than 90 degrees here. Now let's activate pipe. And for the radius, I'm going to go with 2.2 and volumize the object like this. By the way, guys, we are creating another chain. Let's get a copy of this and set it here to create some sort of a locked form. Maybe a little bit more distance. Set another here. And we can basically go on like this to complete our chain. But I guess it is easier to just use a linear array here. Again, let's reproduce this 14 times. And this would be another model of our chain. It was quite simple. Activate rendering, and let's add the material as well. Okay. And after adding the material, we can again convert our straight model into a curved one, and it works exactly the same as our last example. You can just easily use the flow command. Okay guys, we are done. Don't forget to practice. See you all next time.